Hi, and thank you for watching my YouTube channel. I'm your host. My name is Thobani Mkhize, and today in the studio we have Bafana Mazibuko, who is a songbird from Katlehong. Bafana.
Yes, sir.
Good to have you, sir.
Thank you for having me. Ngiyabonga.
How are you feeling? How are you feeling right now? Ngiyazi wathanda my interview.
I don't like
you've
interviews.
mentioned that. So
I don't do interviews.
I'm just thinking with what's going on in your head right now. Thank
you for having me. It's good to be here.
No, it's a pleasure to have you here in the studio. So now, listen, I'm sure abantu abaningi they've heard the music on my social media platform, that they've heard the music on Radio Maidlala, and they wondering what's kahle ubani Bafana Mazibuko, because we don't get to see much of Bafana Mazibuko. Ubani Bafana Mazibuko. And why you
Well, first of all,
why you Kashid?
First of all, I hope people hear my music. I hope they even get it.
Yeah.
Or like, okay, the second question you asked me is why Ngicashile. Angicasha. Ngikona ngisekhaya. No, okay, so a lot is happening in my life currently. There's change of, I don't want to say change of careers, but it's change of jobs.
Okay.
There's the enrollment, the schooling.
Yeah.
There's church commitments, which it's kuningi nje. Kodwa ke ngikhona, and I do accept my invitations whenever I'm available. I always try to not be in people's faces because of a few reasons.
Okay.
It's deeper reasons. We can talk about that. So I am a musician, Jobushilo, and at heart I am a worshiper of God. Jobushilo. So there's a lot of things in social media or in platforms so I try to avoid. So that's why
angibuza ukuthi yini ngoba sewushilo ukuthi it's deeper ama reasons akwenza ukuthi ungaveli, so angeke ngisakubuza ukuthi yini le ma social media.
Okay, I'll just make a simple example, and this is no offense to anyone. I'll try to. I'm not bashing anyone. So I've always seen a difference between industry and ministry.
Okay.
When it comes to music, right? So there's a lot of requirements in terms of industry. However, it does not agree in our requirements with ministry. You understand that? So kuningi ngizamavoid. Asingangeni kakhulu lapho. No, I try to keep my lane in terms of fulfilling the purpose of God, in terms of making sure we're effective in the ministry that God has given me, instead of being out there, which is good, and focusing on branding myself and so it's tricky.
Okay. No. You have your reasons, and we actually respect that. So now, what I'm interested to know is, Bafana Mazibuko in everything. I want to take you back as growing up, as umfana usakula, in your primary days, in your high school days, I would like to know, Mkhambe, what challenges would you say you faced as umuntu omntwana sasemncane sasakhula, and how did you overcome some of those challenges?
Okay, personally, I think I had number one, my problem was esteem. I had low self-esteem with regards to a lot of things. I'm born in so at Kulen Wait, we always had that those kind of conversations. So I've never seen myself. Nanoma yabona khona stage leso siqala jula. Namuzakushiya intombazana yabona ukuthi yena ukhulile emzimbeni. But yabona it crash yami. Manje inkinga manje ukuthi kuzoba ngathi mina ngincane yabo. But that's just one of them. And also there's a point in my life when I had to grow up because of the passing of my biological parents.
Yes.
So abazali abangikhulisayo manje, abazali engathanda kakhulu ubaba nomama ngibona bangikhulisayo. But there was a point when and ngihlangana nabo ngoChrist
Yeah.
and then bamkhulisa from there on, and I am who I am today because of them. But then before that, there was a time when my parents passed away in 2003, Mama and Baba in 2004, and then from that time, we had to make a plan every day, basically. Siyadla. I mean, family was there, but we had to sort of go and there was a point when ekhaya ladala nje sasisebenza more bukusisa kahle ubheke kahle inobu greenish because we would eat most of the time into njengama spinach, cabbage and all of those things. There's a lot, you know, I had to go through ekhuleni nathi singabantwana sihlala sodwa. So that it sort of created the imbalance empilweni yami kancane nokubuyela emuva kancane. At the same time bike yafana ngikhule ngisamncane, but then I thank God for that because what the best in me is if isilungu sangivumela ukuthi ngibe kanjani. So yeah, I thank God for, and there was even a time when abantu abanjengabo ama-wash towers, and all of these people abeze bazoshumayela endlini bafike obvious bafika bangithola ngiredi buze ukuthi nginenzeleni yabo, but then they would be let out by the conversation because I would always ask a simple question. uNkulunkulu wenu lo enkhuluma ngayo bekabhekephi abazali bami emashow? That would be the only reason I would not have any further conversation with them, because they would decide yazi so besibona next time sizokhuleka nawe next time sobonana yabo. And I had so many unanswered questions because bengisayingane. But I thank God ukuthi ngikhulile ngimdala angaze ngambona nje
I think before we move on, you just highlighted izinto that are actually very important. You know, I think kulamalanga, you know, a lot of things that have happened eventually, especially let's talk about COVID number one. Like abantu abaningi they've lost abazali babo, abantu abaningi they've lost imisebenzi, abantu abaningi they've lost properties, cars and everything. But I wanted to focus kulaba abalahlwe abazali babo, and then they found themselves in the very situation that you found yourself in while you were growing up. If ngingabuza nje, what is that one or two advice that you can give them with a situation that they're actually facing right now? Because I can just imagine facing that situation, man, you will feel like there's actually no brighter future for me. You know, you go to the scripture in Jeremiah, you be like, this one is not for me. God definitely does not have a brighter future. It does not have any plans for me. I've got nothing to eat.
What I've realized is that disengagement or disconnection between parents and children. But they feel like they don't have parents. Okay, and there's a lot of people that have lost abazali in the process of COVID and all of these things. I always say the question still stands today. Ukuthi i-COVID iyinhloso okanye iwumsukela kubani? Is it a God initiated thing or is it a devil initiated thing? But either of both, the answer is it was good that it happened. Right? It's said that there was many lives that were lost, but it proved and it exposed a lot of things in COVID. In terms of but in COVID, people had to sit in a family and then they would discover clashes and all of that. A lot of people went through a divorce and all of that. So COVID exposed a lot of things and it brought attention to the fact that we have to correct a lot of things in our households, in our families. There's children that don't even think about the future, you know. My first answer would be at church. I always tell I'm the youth leader in Konzo, the chairperson of Mandabash. I always tell Amandabash, my main goal with you guys is not that give us slide. My main goal is that give a brother here. For one, because it is important in fellowship. That's what we call a fellowship, right? A fellowship has to do with us knowing each other's faults, knowing each other's problems, knowing each other's weaknesses, so that I'm able to advise you. I'm able to say, Puti, Alright, you know, which is I always ask them that question. Okay, some bullies here to grand, sharp, okay, alright. That's one of the most important questions. As I was you know. Go through a lot. So I always try to establish that relationship with you can talk to me about anything. So young people need people to talk to. Number one. They need people to talk to, they need people to release what can I do? I may not have a solution, but for the fact that I was able to conversate with you, it sort of drops the level of anxiety, you know, which is not something we shouldn't even be praying about. Because sometimes it's told us we level altar call, which is okay, there's nothing wrong with that. However, that's not a curative method. You know, we must try to have conversations, you know, have midweek services, talk to them. These people need people to talk to. So that's why it's and we may not have the solutions. We are all figuring out in people. However, talking is very important.
That's funny enough, on Saturday, which was yesterday, so Mambuya, because I was coming back from somewhere. In my mind, you know, it's not the same anymore. You know, back then you would go to church, you would recognize and then you would adopt that child, you know, like but we are and all of those things. But now when you look at church, it's like we are more to call but no. It doesn't have anything to do with me. I worry about myself and I worry about my family.
On that point, that is not the doctrine or the gospel that Christ preaches. The Bible says Christ in he's been poured out. So whoever can access you. You know. So it's said with right now it's family first and then church. You know. And my prayer every day is that Lord, please help me live a life in such a way ukuthi kungabi nomuntu oswela ngikhona. Kungabi nomuntu ongahle ngikhona. Mina I grew up njengoba ngisho ukuthi ngikhuliswe umndeni wakwaMakhoba. I hope I'm Tatiskat. I just give you a brief story ukuthi kwenzeke kanjani. So I remember it was a night, May 31st, sibuye esontweni kuna prayer esontweni. In the morning, bangibone ukuthi I think ngihamba ngiyedwa or something ngabo 5 ekseni yabo, but no still ukulezi lift bangazi ngingane yabo yakhona which is usisi wami, she's my sister normal. Yabo bangazi ngaye, and then they were like no, so ngezi lift, then ngihambe nabo masifike endlini ngithola ukuthi ubhuti wami uhambe ngesikhiya yabo, they're like no asamuzolala endlini uzobuya later me yabo. From then on, that's how the relationship started till today. Ngakhulela khona uningi men refer kubazali refer kubona. You understand? A lot of people think I always had parents, but these are parents abangikhulisayo, you know, and they have so much impact empilweni yami. So the point I'm trying to say is, and it's funny today babefundisi. I always look at lives of abefundisi. Always see if umfundisi uyi celebrity of the church, it's a huge problem. It's a huge problem, and if ingalungiswa manje asinali bandla. Yabo, because thina sikhule sazi ukuthi emzini kamfundisi umuntu angena mekuphakwa mekuphekwa phekwa amaphisi amaningi ithathe ukuthi ungangena noma ubani kumele adle immediately. Akumele asiqale sithi ayisameni sothenga you understand. So we need to that's what fellowship is. Not ukuze sontweni Sundays fike siphamisa izandla sikhulume amathanga siphume sami. We need to be able to during the week sense. You understand? Somebody needs to call. I need to call someone. Today akuna la endlini. It's not little by faith without action is dead. You know, we can't tell a person ukuthi uJesu inkosi sikhuleka ukumnikeza ukudla. So ivangeli esishumayela vele be invented. So yes sir.
That's powerful. Let's talk about your music. Let's talk about your love for music. When did you discover, or when did you knew, or when did you know, or when did you what? La khona uthando lwemusic ilaqala khona.
Okay, so as a kid, I've always loved music. I think from a crash, you know, station.
Yeah.
So from then, I think I've always loved singing, but I wasn't aware at that time. I was just a kid, you know. And I remember my biological parents, they would say, I didn't even pay attention to it. And especially when I was born in interesting. But you know, I always say, for example, if a leader, Miles Monroe always say, a leader is not made, a leader is born, you know. So a person who gets him to so I think from childhood, from the creation, and then I joined an art group, and I always had a problem singing because I didn't like it because my voice is small. So when I started to was abantu angazi uri ngiyabahawula uri angazi mangicula nje ubona ukuthi abantu voice amncane so bekunalomfana mncanyana kodwa till today I mean I think that's when I started from a city high schoolish when I started joining ama art group nase assembly ngiyakhumbula ngilahlela ingoma eyi1 and then asangisaphinde because of reaction yabantu yamthusa yami overwhelming yabo.
Was it a good reaction though?
It was a good reaction, but yeah, kwabanye man wena unevoice encane bathi ntombazana mayicula bese
but wawungaveli bakubone ukuthi hayi vele mncane la. Yeah, no,
so,
I can imagine.
And then I joined the SCO. That's when I started singing. And then from, I think, I realized, 2015, that's when I decided, okay, let's see where God is taking us. You know, I was like, God, I'm going to start, you know. And then I hosted an event. It was called Songs of Praise or something. I show you in 2015. May, I still remember that day. That was my first show, sort of launching myself as a musician. You know, and it was packed. And that's when I realized what I want my time because I've always been singing my music. You know, so yeah, till today. Till today.
And you're still going strong, of course.
Yo, I'm going strong,
but
going strong. Although I prefer effectiveness instead of vibe.
And this is my favorite time on my YouTube channel, whereby we put you on the spot. So this guy is a songbird. Obviously he sings. We are cool. No. So we are cool. I've heard a couple of his songs. His Mamel and awusithi fahla kancane.
Okay,
anything from your album.
Okay, khona ingoma ayakaphumi. So it's gama lakho lihle liqashula izibopho futhi malibizwa wonke amadolo ayolikhothame. One
Ungifundisa ukucula.
Ngifuna ukucula njengoba ngishiyo. I said they ongayifundisa.
Into zalwa nayo.
Yeah.
Okay. Mhlambe one or two words of encouragement sesivala. You know, we've got mhlambe lesi sinabantu la bathi I've always wanted to be a musician, but I don't know where to start. I've always wanted to be a musician, but I don't have resources. Who do I talk to? You know, ngiyasha kimi ngaphakathi but angazi ukuthi ngizokhuluma nobani. Ngiyababona Bafana bayavela, but I want to be like him. So ngizocala kuphi, ngizoyenzani, ngizothatha ini, ngizohlanganisa nani. What would you say to that person?
Okay, join a choir. That's the best thing, you know. I'm a choir wasemabandleni swabukela phansi, but that's way I sort of started realizing okay, imagine before I even decided to even have a show concert. So we've always had a show way to esontweni AFM Healing Center. we had a show every year, and then from then on I decided to have my own. But I grew up there. That's when we started listening to Cook Friendly, all of this music as a ones who were inclined to my details for music. So in order to learn, I think it's best to join a choir, listen to music most of the time. Don't be just a musician if you get something in practice mina omakhelwana bami sebaze balahle ithemba bagivapile indlela engineneza you know, especially lasenhlala khona manje umuzi omlungu ke lapha asekaze balahle ithemba ngoba indlela engineneza ngiyayiculela nje yabo. When I learn something I want to do it, I want to, you know, the way and I even ngibusele movie ngoma ngimamele and I try to do that. So join a choir, associate with musicians. Also, depending on the genre of music of Uguyenza, I would strongly recommend for gospel music, guys, it's ministry first. And then all of these other things. It's fine to learn all of these things. It's fine to do the riffs and runs and all of these things that are very nice. That make it's, you know, it's music. That's what it must be there. However, Sunday bandla sicela sihlabelele nje ninga you just asihlabelele nje ingoma singayenza izinto eziningi unnecessary.
Angene kunomuntu angikhumbuza yena asihlabelele manje, so because we rehearsal at church you will say something like anele nokuhlupha njalo why ningihlupha bazalwane why ningihlupha bazalwane yabona nawe uyophatha ngelinye ilanga ngihluphe nje yena. Well, guys, thank you very much. This is Bafana Mazibuko, and sure, we must have you back on our show. The sense of humor. I feel there's actually a lot that we can learn from you. You know, I feel I feel from listening to you ukuluma. That I actually wanted to uncover that you were actually talking about, but because of time, we couldn't do those things. So which means we must have him back soon. A studio whereby we will talk more now. Bafana Mazibuko. Thank you very much, guys, for watching this interview with Bafana Mazibuko. To those who have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do subscribe, as we're going to be giving you new content each and every week. Thank you very much. Signing out.